Hi guys, Amy here, also known as Hidden Treasure Picker here on YouTube. In case you're new to my channel, I'm a full-time online reseller, mainly selling on eBay. I also sell some on Poshmark and Mercari as well. Today I wanted to make a video to let you guys know what has sold for me over about the past week and a half or so, just to give you guys an idea of what kind of items are selling in our eBay stores and Poshmark and Mercari a little bit as well, so that you can see what kind of items we're currently selling. So maybe it'll help you know some items to look out for when you're out sourcing. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, as I'm going through these, as usual, I will put the sold comp up on the screen. That way you can see what the item was, what it looked like, what it sold for, and all of that information. All right, the first item that we're going to talk about is this hat. This is a Yogi Bear hat. Now, I picked this up at the bins a few weeks ago, probably had just a few cents into it, and it sold for $19.97 plus shipping. The next item is this Harley Davidson hat. We also found this item at the bins a few weeks ago, so again, it was just a few cents that we probably had into this item, and it sold on best offer for $20 plus shipping. Make sure you're always looking out for Harley Davidson items. Harley Davidson is a really good type of thing to look out for. Harley Davidson has a really good following, and a lot of Harley Davidson items can sell for a lot of money depending on what they are. So keep your eye out for Harley stuff, because it's definitely a good brand to look out for. Next, we have these Doc Martens shoes. These weren't like the Doc Marten boots or anything, they're just like an Oxford, but Doc Marten is a really good brand to look out for. The boots, I believe, usually can do even better than just the shoes, but even just the shoes can do really well. So Doc Marten has a very good following, and a lot of people really like Doc Martens, so that's a very good shoe brand to be on the lookout for. These were also another Goodwill outlet find. So these were a little bit heavier, so we probably had about $4 or so into these, but they sold for $39.97 plus shipping. All these items, guys, are going to be plus shipping. We always charge calculated shipping on our eBay stores. We're not... A lot of people say you should do free shipping. We just personally do not like that method. We would rather charge calculated shipping. We feel that, for us personally, when we try to do free shipping, it seems like that we could lose out on money. Whether it be because, you know, a lot of times when you offer free shipping, you can try to add the price of shipping into your actual listing price. The only problem with that is that can be difficult sometimes, because if something is going to, say, California, we live in Ohio, so say something is going to California, it's going to cost a lot more than something that is going to, you know, even New York, for example. So if we tried to calculate shipping and just add it into the cost of our item, unless we charged everyone like the highest cost, basically, by adding in the highest cost to our item, I feel like a lot of our items would be overpriced. So to us, that doesn't really seem to work. It's easier for us to just go ahead and charge calculated shipping. That way the person is paying the proper shipping that they should be paying based on where that item is going. So for us, calculated shipping works out better. So all of these items will always be plus shipping. All right, the next item is this little plush. It is a Webkinz plush. We got this one at a garage sale for $1 sometime this summer, and it sold for $9.97. Now, Webkinz isn't always great. There are some Webkinz that are worth more than others, but we've picked up a few Webkinz here and there, especially when they're cheap. If we can get them for a few cents to $1 and sell them for around 10, to us that's worth it. To you it might not be. It's up to you. It just depends on what kind of return on investment you want for your items. For us, that's still a decent flip, and we're okay with putting $1 into 10. The next item is another hat. This was a hat that we picked up at a garage sale this summer. It was 50 cents and it sold for $29.97. This was a Miami Heat New Era fitted hat. It was really cool. It was like this orange and it was brand new. It had never been worn. So that was really cool. It was really cool to find that at a garage sale for only 50 cents. So we were pretty excited about that. That's a pretty good flip, 50 cents into $30. That's definitely a really good flip. The next item is a Bath & Body Works spray. This was a Frosted Coconut Snowball Diamond Shimmer Mist Spray. We got this at a garage sale this summer for 50 cents and it sold on best offer for $10. So again, 50 cents into 10 is fine by us. Obviously, a lot of times we'd like to find those, you know, bigger flips, the more home run flips, but sometimes you gotta get those bread and butter type items in there too, where you can spend a few cents and make 10 bucks. That's good too, you know. I mean, it's still mostly profit. You know, you're only putting a few cents out into an item to still make 10 bucks. That adds up over time. So, you know, once again, it's up to you if you want to have that same kind of thought process as far as ROI. For us, we're okay with that kind of ROI for our bread and butter type items. For items that we know we can get that cheap and we can sell even for 10 bucks, you know, that's still good to us. All right, the next couple items are both VHS tapes. These were both brand new and sealed tapes. We picked both of these up at a thrift store for 25 cents a piece. Now, not all VHS is worth money, but some VHS can do well, and especially if it's sealed, you might want to look it up. Some people still buy VHS, believe it or not. Like I said, not a lot. There's a lot that's not worth really anything, so you have to make sure you do your research every time you're thinking about picking anything like this up. But we went to a thrift store and we picked up these two VHS. Like I said, they were both brand new and sealed, so we decided 25 cents for them. You know, you can't beat that. That's a really good price. So we looked them up on eBay and definitely thought that they were worth it. So we picked those up and we listed them, I think either the same day or the next day after we picked them up. And they both sold within a few minutes of listing them, which was crazy. That was totally unexpected. We definitely did not expect that to happen, but that was really cool that it did. So the first one was the movie The Goonies, and that sold for $26.97. The other VHS was Home Alone 2, and that one sold for $18.97. So those were both really good and surprising flips. We didn't really expect to go to the thrift store that day and find sealed VHS for 25 cents a piece that we were going to be able to flip within, what, 24, 48 hours for, you know, $27 and $19. Like, that's crazy. We were pretty impressed with that. So keep an eye out for VHS, you guys. Like I said, it's not going to be everything, but just do your research like everything else, and you'll be surprised. You could find some real good treasures out there. Okay, the next item is this Jim Shore figure. This was a snowman called the Winter's Friend. I've talked about Jim Shore before. He makes a lot of like wooden carvings, and some of them can go for really good money. So you want to keep an eye out for Jim Shore items. Especially like his retired Disney items. Those can be some of the most valuable. This wasn't a Disney item or anything, but it still sold for $34.97. And we paid $4 for this at a garage sale this summer. So once again, that was a really good flip. Next are these Sony wireless headphones, and they came with this transmitter base. It was kind of like a little bit older of a technology, it seems like, but they were like these Sony wireless headphones. We found them at a garage sale for $5 this summer. I looked them up and decided they were definitely worth picking up, and we sold them for $44.97. All right, next up is this sealed board game. This was an I Love Lucy trivia game. Like I said, it was brand new and sealed. Found this at a garage sale this summer for only $2, and we sold it for $39.97. That was really good flip too. A lot of things that people had at their garage sale was actually overpriced. So I was surprised when I found this game and saw how much it was selling for, and that they only wanted $2 for it. So that was really cool. Another really good flip from garage sailing this summer. The next item is a pair of shoes. This was a pair of SAS or SAS shoes. These walking comfort shoes. I think I've talked to you guys before about SAS. Maybe in the haul video I did last time, I talked about picking up these shoes. So we got these at the bins, yeah, probably just about a week or two ago. And so we had, I don't know, a little over $2 into them probably. And we took a best offer on these for $28. Okay, the next item is another hat. This one though was like a straw type hat, and it was a vintage hat from the Olympics. It was like the 1996 Atlanta Olympics. It had like a band around the straw hat, like on the top of the hat, that said like 1996 Atlanta Olympics. And we bought this at a thrift store for $3.50 a few weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure it probably sold now because of the Olympics currently going on. I've heard a lot of people talking about selling old Olympics items recently, and I feel like most people think it's due to the fact that the current Olympics are currently going on, so a lot of older Olympics items are selling. So it was cool that we found this item just in time to list it and get it sold for this time frame. So this sold for $21.97. Okay, the next item was a book bag. This was a JanSport book bag, and it was this cool like zebra print. I think I talked to you guys before recently in one of my recent videos about be on the lookout for book bags and stuff right now, you guys, because it's getting to be back to school shopping time. A lot of people are looking for school items like backpacks and other things like that, calculators, so on and so forth. So keep an eye out for things like backpacks, calculators, especially like the graphing calculators, especially like the TI-84 and up. Those can do really well. So just keep an eye out for that kind of stuff. So this book bag we picked up at the bins a few weeks ago probably, and we probably had about $1.50 or so into it, and it sold for $22.97. Okay, next is this little Coach wristlet. It was like just a little tiny kind of like wallet, wristlet purse. It's very small, almost like a wallet, but I guess you'd consider it more of a wristlet. By Coach. I think most people know that Coach is a really good brand. It's very high end. It's really expensive retail and things like that. So we picked this little wristlet up at the flea market actually this summer for $5. We don't pick up a lot at our local flea market. It seems like most things at our flea market are really overpriced, at least for like reselling. They're not really priced properly for resellers to be able to make a lot of profit on. It just depends. Sometimes you'll find somebody who has some more decently priced items. So this one wasn't that bad. We thought $5 for this, we can probably definitely make a profit on this, and we did. We sold it for $24.97. All right, next we have this Scentsy warmer. I've talked to you guys about Scentsy before. Scentsy's a really good brand. It has a really good following. Lots of people really like especially these like the full-size warmers that they have. So this was a Scentsy warmer. We paid $5 for this at a garage sale this summer, and it sold for $29.97. It was called the Nature's Haven. It's just like got a little bird and like a bird nest on it. Just a cute little Scentsy warmer, and like I said, people really like these. And especially when you can find them like with the box and everything, even if they're pre-owned, but they still have the box with them, which was the case with this one. I think people like that even better, to have the box and things. So that usually sells for more. So this was a pretty good flip too. All right, I want to switch it up and jump into some Poshmark sales for you guys. Tell you guys what I sold on Poshmark this past week. And then we'll get back into some more eBay sales. So first up on Poshmark, we sold this strawberry shortcake drinking glass. This was like a vintage glass, and it just had like little graphics of strawberry shortcake on it. So I bought this a while ago, I think at like a thrift store. Probably had maybe a few cents into it, maybe $1, and it sold for $10 on Poshmark. Next thing we sold on Poshmark were these Tommy Hilfiger women's shorts. Just a pair of basic women's shorts by Tommy Hilfiger. Tommy Hilfiger can kind of go back and forth. Some of the stuff can do decent, some of it can do really well if it's vintage. It just depends. It's a little oversaturated though too, but if you find Tommy Hilfiger stuff, if you can get it cheap enough, it might be worth picking up. So I feel like we probably got these shorts at like a thrift store a while ago, maybe had like $1 into them, and they sold on Poshmark for $12. So here's another thing, in case you guys aren't familiar with Poshmark, Poshmark automatically charges the customer for shipping. So no matter what, you're not responsible for the shipping cost at all. They automatically charge the customer shipping. So that's just how Poshmark does things. So once again, all of these items would be plus shipping because the customer paid shipping on top of the sale price for all of these items. Okay, the next item that sold on Poshmark was this messenger bag. It was by the brand Life is Good. I don't know if you guys remember that brand. I feel like it was more popular a few years ago. I don't really hear as much about it anymore, but it was a really popular brand and did really good before. But this was just like a messenger bag. Again, this is something that I've had for a while. I think that I got this at a thrift store. I might have had $1 or $2 into it. I'm not really even sure because I've had it for quite a while. And it finally sold on Poshmark for me for $15. And the last Poshmark sale I want to talk to you guys about was this Walt Disney World mug. It was Minnie Mouse, and it's just like a purple mug with Minnie on it. I got this at a garage sale. Probably, it wasn't this summer, and I didn't do a lot of garage selling last summer because of COVID and everything. So I believe it was 2 summers ago. So I got this at a garage sale for like 25 cents, and it finally sold for me on Poshmark for $15. So that's really good to get, 25 cents into $15 is a pretty good flip. I like that when you can find mugs that are really cheap, and usually they are. Usually you can pick up mugs really cheap, whether at the garage sales, thrift stores, anywhere. You can usually find mugs pretty cheap. Again, mugs aren't something that every single mug is going to sell, but for example, Disney ones are a good one to look for. Disney ones, Starbucks ones, and some other random items. It just depends. Again, do your research, guys, and you'd be surprised. You can find some really good deals on mugs, really good, that have a really good profit to come from them. All right, let's jump back into the eBay sales. So this next item was a plush. This was by Ty. This was actually a tie. I don't know if it's considered a Beanie Baby because it's something specific. So I don't remember if this one was actually considered a Beanie Baby. If he was, he surprisingly was worth more than what most Beanie Babies are. So this was Snowy from Adventures of Tintin. He was just like this little white terrier puppy, and he sold for $18.97. And I had picked him up at a garage sale this summer for $1.25. So that was a decent tie item to pick up at a garage sale. As you know, a lot of Beanie Babies are not worth anything. But I saw this guy, and he was a little bit different because, like I said, he was something special from like I don't know if it's a movie, a cartoon, exactly what it is, but the Adventures of Tintin. So I looked him up and decided he was worth it, and he was. So that was a good flip from a garage sale from this summer. Okay, the next item is actually a book. I don't sell a lot of books. I don't know enough about books. I know there's a lot of people who can make a lot of money off books. They just have one of them book scanners. They go to like library sales or thrift stores or whatnot, and they just scan a whole bunch of books and find a whole bunch that are worth lots of money. I don't really know anything about books like that. The only reason I really had this specific book was, I've talked to you guys before, I've been selling off a lot of my grandmother's old stuff. Most of it was elephants, but she also had a few books that I've been selling off. So this was one from that, so I didn't have any money into this, and I sold it for $14. Okay, next up is this pair of Crocs. These were Crocs, like sandals, flip-flops. These I got, I believe I told you guys before about how I had went and picked up a whole bunch of stuff from this woman who was giving all her garage sale leftovers for free. Now, a lot of stuff that she had really wasn't worth anything, but I did find a few things that I was able to list, and I've sold a couple things so far, so this is one of them. I sold these Crocs for $15. Okay guys, the next item is an item I want to talk to you guys about, because sometimes we here on YouTube do not like to talk about our bad buys. I feel like a lot of resellers don't like to talk about it, but I don't want you guys to think that it's all sunshine and rainbows. Obviously, everybody has bad buys. There's going to be times you're going to buy items that are just going to sit and sit and sit, and then once you finally do sell them, if you ever do, because there may be items that you just never sell, but if you ever finally do, you might not really make any money on them, because you finally have to take such a low amount to just get it out the door and at least try to get your money back, right? So that's kind of what happened with this next item. This was a shirt by this brand called Borelli. I guess I got this shirt at a thrift store a while ago for like $3. And I think I just got it because it looked like, it was like a really nice quality shirt. It's kind of like this suede-like material. And so I guess I thought that it would go for more than it did. But I was wrong, and it has sat for a really long time in my store. So I finally took a best offer on this for $7. So I probably, I at least made my money back, and maybe I made $1 or $2. But obviously that's not what I want to go for. Obviously I want to make a lot more profit on items than that. But this was just a bad buy, and that's the thing about bad buys, guys. You'll have them, and then you'll learn your lesson, and hopefully you won't repeat that mistake again. I won't ever pick up this brand again. I mean, really, I'm not even buying hardly any clothes anymore as it is. But if I did, I definitely would not pick up this brand again. It just wasn't a good, well-known brand. So there you go, guys. Everybody has bad buys. Everybody makes mistakes. But it's okay, because you'll either at least break even on something, hopefully. If not, then just take it as a learning experience and move on to the next. Okay, next up is a pair of jeans. Now this is pretty cool. This is another item that I actually got for free. A woman contacted me and asked me if I wanted to pick up some items for free from her. And I guess she is also a reseller, which I didn't know at the time, and she told me later that she resells, but a lot of times she kind of just purges inventory that has either been sitting for her for a while, or she just kind of got it stuck in her death pile and doesn't want to deal with it anymore. So she asked me if I wanted to pick some items up and left them at the curb for me. So that's what I did. I went and picked up these items. And there was some decent stuff in there. So the cool thing about that is, though, is that she contacted me afterwards and told me that if I liked those items, to let her know, because she would be willing to part with more at, later dates and time. She said she does this every once in a while. She gets sick of seeing things laying around, and so she just gets rid of them. And so we kind of made a deal, like, hopefully she can give me some more stuff in the future for free, and I think that's really cool. So I was pretty excited about that. So this is one of the items that I got from her. They were these jeans by Prana. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Prana. I think it's Prana. So I got these, like I said, for free from her, and they sold for $15. So once again, anything free that's going to make me profit is very cool. And funny enough, I sold another item by Prana, like at the same time, within like a couple days of each other. This was a pair of swim trunks by Prana that I actually had bought at a Goodwill. I don't even know. I've had these for a long time. I feel like I've probably had them for a couple years. I'm not even really sure how much I had into these, because I don't remember how much I spent on these. I would assume somewhere around $1 or $2 maybe. Something like that. I'm just not really 100% sure. But so they've sat for a really long time, and funnily enough, pretty much right after I sold these Prana jeans, like within a couple days, I also sold these swim trunks, and they sold for $16.23. I just thought that was funny how that worked out, because I don't know, I've never really had a whole lot of items from that brand, and it's just funny that I had those ones sitting for like 2 years, and they just sold right after these other jeans by the same brand that I recently just got those jeans. So I just thought that was funny how that worked out. Sometimes things are weird like that though. So that's pretty cool. I'm glad that I finally got those sold. Okay, the next several sales that I'm going to talk to you guys about is something that I mentioned to you guys before. I have recently started selling off some of my old toys from when I was younger, and that's been really profitable for me because those kind of things are really hot right now. Like, a lot of people are looking for the old vintage toys from like the 80s and 90s and things like that. So if you can find those kind of items, or you even have those kind of items from your own childhood that you wouldn't mind parting with, now is probably a good time to do that. I mean, these toys are hot, and a lot of them sell pretty quick and for a lot of money. So I've sold some more items that I've recently just listed, actually. So let's talk about that. Let's start with these first 3 items, because these all actually sold to the same buyer. They sold them all, or they bought them all, sorry, in separate transactions, but they bought 3 different action figures from me. So they all went to the same person, which was cool because then I got to save money on shipping. So that was a really good deal. So I sold this, see, the first one was a figure from the A-Team, and it was Templeton Peck, or Face as he was called. He sold to this person for $8, and then they also purchased another A-Team figure, which was Mad Murdock, and they purchased him for $8 as well. They sent me an offer on both of those items for $8. I had them listed at like $10, so I went ahead and took it because I figured, especially when they're buying multiple items, I don't mind striking a deal. So they bought those 2, and then the other item that they bought was this Ghostbusters figure. This was a Haunted Humans Tombstone Tackle action figure, and on this one I took an offer on him for $11. I originally had him listed at $15, and they offered $10. I countered with $13, and then they countered with $11, and I was like, you know what, they were already buying 2 other figures, I'll go ahead and take the $11. So I did. So like I said, that was pretty cool to, you know, get a sale on 3 different action figures all at once going to the same person. Save me on shipping because I could just ship them all together and everything else. So that was pretty cool. But let's get into the next few because those were even better. So the next one was this Masters of the Universe action figure. This was the character Mosquitor. He's like a mosquito type guy, and his like chest, like there's a pump on the back, on his back that you like push, and then the stuff that looks like blood just like moves around in his chest. It's kind of cool. But apparently this is a toy that I had when I was younger, again, so I didn't have any money into it. And like I said, I just recently started listing all of these action figures and was surprised actually when I started comping them out and seeing how much they went for on eBay. I was genuinely surprised that some of these were going for as much money as they were. So unfortunately though, a lot of these action figures are supposed to come with like weapons or other kinds of accessories that I don't have, and that kind of sucks because honestly, if I had them complete with all their weapons, accessories, and so on and so forth, like, I guess a lot of these could go for even like double the price that they're going for loose. So that kind of sucks that apparently when I was younger, I lost their accessories or their weapons or whatnot, or they got lost over the years. I'm not really sure what happened, but that kind of sucks. But still, even as loose figures without their accessories, a lot of them are still worth quite a bit of money. So I was really genuinely surprised to find that out. And this guy sold not even that long after I listed him, probably within like a day of me listing him. He sold for $59.97. So that's really cool to just get rid of an old toy and be able to get like 60 bucks for it. Okay, so the next action figure is this one. He's from the Silverhawks, and he's called Copper Kid. So again, same thing, from my childhood, didn't have any money into him. So surprised when I looked him up and saw how much he sold for, and I was able to sell him for $60 as well. So again, he didn't have any of his accessories or anything like that. It was just loose figure, and still able to sell him for $60. Alright guys, as usual, I saved the best sale for last. Another action figure that I had from when I was a kid, so had no money into this at all whatsoever, and was completely shocked when I looked up comps on this on eBay. So this was a Remco Warrior Beasts Wolf Warrior. So this guy apparently is pretty rare. Again, completely loose, missing accessories, everything like that. So just a completely loose figure. He's supposed to have like a fur, like coat type thing, and I think like some sort of weapon. Didn't have either of those things. Didn't have any accessories for him whatsoever. But that did not stop him from selling for me for $199.97. That's right, guys, $200 just for this little tiny action figure. It's just crazy to me that some of these items are selling for as much as they are. So you guys definitely want to be on the lookout for these kind of items, or look through your old toys. If you guys still have your old toys and you have toys from the 80s, 90s, especially those eras, that is really hot right now, and you can get a lot of money for these kind of items. So go look through whatever you may have, or keep an eye out at thrift stores, garage sales, etc., and see what you can find, because these items are just crazy amazing at some of the prices that you can get for this stuff. So I was really excited about this like $200 sale for this little plastic action figure toy. All right, guys, that's it. That's been my sales for the last about week and a half or so since the last time I made a what sold video. Those are my sales. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you learn and think outside the box. Think about what kind of items you can be looking for. Think about what kind of items to even look for, like I said, in your own treasure chest of toys, maybe from when you were younger. That stuff can be really good. So you might want to look through your old stuff. If you don't have anything like that, it's fine. You can usually find this kind of stuff at thrift stores, garage sales, what have you. It's very possible that you can find this stuff out there. So always be on the lookout for these kind of items, because like I said, a lot of these 80s and 90s toys especially can be really good. So you guys keep looking for this kind of stuff. All right, if you liked this video and want to see more just like it, make sure you subscribe to my channel. That way you can keep on seeing more content like this. Make sure you hit the bell notification, because that'll alert you every time I put out new content. Make sure you hit the like button on this video, because that helps out the YouTube algorithm to make sure that they put out my video to more people that may be interested in content like this. And if you have any comments or questions, anything like that, go ahead and comment down below. I will try my best to answer any comments or questions anyone may have. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. So until next time, keep on hunting for that hidden treasure.